Okay, so today we're going to talk about the overhead. That's if you're stateside. If you live in England, you call it the smash. And when I was a kid, I used to love practicing smashes. Now I have to call it an overheads, but anyway, that's okay. So, a bit like the serve, we're going to use a continental grip, and we're going to have the strings, when you take the racket back, parallel to the back of the head. So we're going to have three basic moves, okay? So we're going to do three things at once. So we're going to take the right foot, if we're right-handed, so all my videos are about righties. If you're a lefty, like my cameraman, he's just left out, you know what I mean? He's a weird dude, you know, if you're playing with your left hand, you're cheating anyway, so you're not supposed to get extra tuition. So, right foot goes back, racket goes behind the head. I tell the kids, answer the phone. So right foot, answer the phone, and then the left arm's gonna go up like this, and I'm gonna point to the ball. I grew up with coaches telling me to point to the ball, but I had one coach that once said, instead of thinking about pointing, think about catching the ball. So when the ball goes up, think about getting yourself underneath it so you can catch it in your left hand. And I thought that was really good, because a lot of people will just stand there and just point to it like this, but if you make them catch it, it really puts them in a position where they're underneath the ball to hit it. Overheads are a difficult shot. It's definitely a shot you need to practice because it's the only shot in tennis in which the ball's getting faster as it comes towards you. Most of the shots are either slowing down or staying the same speed. Now, if you've got a big topspin coming at you, then that might speed up a little bit, but I tell people the reason why this shot's so difficult is because the timing of it's difficult, so it takes a lot of practice. I don't play as much as I used to, and I shank more overheads on a weekly basis than I want to admit. So, ball goes up, right foot, racket behind the head, point to the ball. I'm going to move my feet. Now, if I don't have to go real far, I'm just going to move this way. That's no big deal. If I have to get back there fast, I always tell people, if my house was burning down and I had to get out of it, I wouldn't get out of the house doing this. I'm leaving. That's just not what you do. You turn and run. So if I've got to go back a long way, I'm going to go right foot, I'm going to find this position, and I'm going to run this way. Then I'm going to get myself set, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit. But don't go back clicking the heels like this. That is not the most efficient way. If you watch American football, I have to. In-laws are huge Georgia fans, so I got to watch it when that's in season. The quarterback is going to hike the ball, and it's his job to get away from those guys that are trying to kill him as fast as he can. And if he's doing a 3 or a 5-step drop, he's going to go back this way. He's not going to go back clicking his heels together because he's going to get mauled. Okay, so it's just athletic. It's just the way to go back. If coaches are telling you other than that, quiz them about it. Just ask them reason why, and say I watched a video, yada yada yada. Okay, so I've got myself underneath the ball. I'm going to go ahead and make contact as high as I can reach and in front of me. Again, with all shots in tennis, the contact point is the most important. If I go back like this, I'm in great position. I've got the strings parallel to the back of the head, and I hit the ball low, disaster. Ball's going ka-teensh, like this. If I hit the ball too far out in front, disaster. Again, you can do a lot of weird stuff, but as long as you hit it right there, it's gonna go in the court. So I'm gonna feed the ball up into the air. We'll let it bounce because I don't have anyone feeding because my cameraman again, he's napping. So ball goes up. We're gonna get in this position. I'm gonna point to the ball and snap. My racket is gonna finish down on my left side. Most people when they first start will take a few blows to the shin. That's kind of normal. I have a little bit of a pet peeve when I see people taking pictures of pros, and the pros have pronated the wrist and it looks like the racket's finishing this way. That's, if you watch any pro not in slow motion, the feeling they're going to have is snap and throw. It's not going to be doing this, okay? That's probably going to get a lot of different videos. A lot of coaches might teach that way. I personally have a pretty big throwing motion, big serve, and that's what I do. I hold it nice and loose, I get in this position, and I throw as hard as I can and I finish on my left side. There's a little bit more to it than that, but that's the basics of the overhead. My name's been Adam Wood. This has been A Touch of Tennis, and see you next time.